Good evening, everybody. A major victory for President Trump and congressional Republicans. The House of Representatives today approved the biggest overhaul of the tax code in 30 years, sending it to the president's desk, where he is assuredly to sign it. We'll discuss the historic achievement with Counselor to the President, Kellyanne Conway. She joins us here tonight. Also, President Trump celebrating historic tax cuts as Democratic obstructionists threaten a government shutdown. Congress faces a deadline of midnight Friday to pass spending legislation. Dozens of Democrats, however, are vowing to withhold their support unless children of illegal immigrants are protected from deportation. And more evidence of corruption at the highest echelons of the FBI and the Justice Department. FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe reportedly playing dumb today on who funded the discredited Trump dossier. That despite the reported existence of documents on the dossier's funding with McCabe's very own signature upon them. We take up the efforts to root out the deep state, talking tonight with Congressman Matt Gaetz. Our top story, President Trump today declaring victory, celebrating the passage of his signature legislative achievement, tax reform.
It's been an amazing experience, I have to tell you. Hasn't been done in 34 years, but actually really hasn't been done because we broke every record.
The president coming away with a cut in the corporate tax rate from 35 to 21%, a cut in the top tax rate for individuals from 39.6% to 37%, a doubling of the standard deduction in child tax credit, and a big reduction in taxes for small businesses. The tax reform bill also eliminating the tax penalty in the Obamacare individual mandate.
It's always a lot of fun when you win. If you work hard and lose, that's not acceptable.
And it was Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell who took the opportunity during the South Lawn ceremony to praise the president.
This has been a year of extraordinary accomplishment for the Trump administration.
Well, Orrin Hatch also saying without any hesitation whatsoever that this may be the greatest presidency in history. President Trump now turning his attention to a deal to keep the government funded. The White House is confident that they'll get a month-long continuing resolution that would keep government running until the 19th of January. Our first guest here tonight to discuss the president's historic achievement and his assurance that the tax measure will supercharge our economy. Joining us tonight is Kellyanne Conway, Counselor to the President. Great to have you with us, Kellyanne, and congratulations.
Thank you, Lou.
Just an extraordinary achievement for the President, for the administration, for the Republican Party.
We look at it, the President looks at this as a big win for the country, for the hardworking men and women of this nation, our job creators, our job seekers, and certainly our job holders. They deserve a break, and they will keep more of their hard-earned money. He has established himself as the paycheck president, as was noted today, Lou, in that very amazing ceremony outside on the South Portico, with the president flanked by the leadership in the House and Senate and the Republicans in Congress. Unfortunately, no Democrats showed because no Democrats voted for this tax cut, these tax cuts. But as was noted today, people will start to see the relief beginning in February in their paychecks, and then on April 15th. They know they're facing the IRS again this coming year, knowing that our tax code will be very different, that most filers will have a much more simple way of filing their taxes, that families will be able to have more money to decide what to do. We had families here last week said some would make home renovations, some would invest in education, some would give it to charities.
Well, that's the beauty of individuals making market choices for themselves and leaving that money in the pocket of the American taxpayer. It's been a very long time since we've had that opportunity. Let's turn to this, what's likely to happen, because we've had a pretty good indicator all along. From the day the president is elected, we have watched $6 trillion be added to the equities markets. We have seen the economy itself grow at rates that we were told by the previous administration were no longer possible.
That's right.
And we were talking about an administration that was thrilled to achieve something approaching 2%. Already this president, this economy has posted 2 consecutive quarters of 3% or higher economic growth. Right now, the earliest readings on our 4th quarter is approaching 4%
That's right.
economic growth. And now to add the stimulus of this historic tax cut, it is certainly an intriguing thought to contemplate what lies ahead for this economy.
And so many Americans that we talk to see this. They feel it. They see it in their 401ks. They feel it in their investments. And they look at the stock market numbers and they realize that consumer confidence, small business confidence, the stock market itself are just skyrocketing. And at the same time, the unemployment numbers are.
Well, it looks like we've lost a satellite, so we're told it's back. Can we go then to Kellyanne? Sorry about that, Kellyanne.
Oh, no problem. As I was saying, the tax cut and reform package, Lou, is really the centerpiece of the overall President Trump economic agenda. And this is a very important centerpiece today. But remember, it was preceded by him getting rid of these job-killing, overwrought, expensive, duplicative, unnecessary regulations. He's cut more regulations and red tape than any president in the first year.
And he's only getting warmed up. We should point that out.
And he's only getting warmed up. There's no question. But we hear from job creators and job holders all the time. We say, wow, this really helped because I've been hounded with compliance and compliance costs. It's just so, I just want to do my job. I just want to create wealth and jobs. And so, but this is the centerpiece. But the other thing the president's done is he's opened up energy. ANWR was included in here. You saw the Alaska delegation come forward and say it's been 40 years.
We're going to be here a long time, Kellyanne, if you keep going through everything this president has
done. And don't forget repealing the Obamacare mandate. This tax cut package was a 3-for-1.
You're still in campaign mode. And we're not even a year through the first installment of this administration.
It's so disappointing because people wasted a year. His critics and his naysayers have wasted one whole year trying to relitigate the last campaign. And look at the accomplishments he has.
And the left, they look like the know-nothings they are. They look like bitter, ineffectual, hapless fools. I mean, there's just no other way to describe the enterprise that they've embarked upon, trying this collusion nonsense that's been knocked down at every turn, whether it's the FBI, whether it is investigating committees in the House or the Senate. They appear utter oafs. Senator Chuck Schumer, what does he have to show for 1 year of his career?
They've been holding up a stop sign.
The minority in the Senate. I mean,
they've been holding up a stop sign all year long. No, resist, obstruct. And it's a shame that no Democrats would support this historic tax package. And I do want to tell you, nobody here is campaigning. We're governing. And President Trump's governance, you see this 3-for-1 here today. ANWR, repealing the Obamacare mandate, reducing taxes. Look what AT&T did.
Don't ever apologize to me for campaigning.
I'm not apologizing.
I love campaigning.
But we're campaigning for tax
cuts. Campaigns, and he governs, and he delivers.
He does.
And
he delivers.
The hell with the expectations of the left-wing media, right?
But what I wanted to tell you, it even goes beyond the left-wing media. It goes to so many of his critics and naysayers. They spent the whole year talking about last year's campaign. It makes no sense to us. But look how the markets respond. What did AT&T do today? Practically the moment that this passed and the president was taken to the South Portico, on live television, AT&T announced that they would give $1,000 bonuses to 200,000 employees. That's a fact. Everybody said the stock market's going to crash. We're going to go into a global recession. The companies aren't going to do what's right by their employees if they get the tax cuts. They've done exactly that. Everybody's responding now. They want to invest in their employees. We're going to get trillions of dollars of wealth repatriated back to this country. We're going to bring those jobs back to overseas. It's just so, it's a turning point day, Lou. It's a turning point day. It's very exciting. And people will remember that it was this president's leadership, his will, and his ability to deliver, not on a campaign promise, but on an imperative.
Well, I think the great thing today was those smiling faces behind the nation's leader, the leader of the free world. Those are smiling faces, and 2 of them belong to Paul Ryan and to Mitch McConnell.
Yes, they delivered.
They found that they can live lively, that they can rise above what they have been and recognize what is and look at the potential. And the president's leadership is doing precisely that. Now let's talk about the fights that are underway. And that is to keep the government running because of the fools who want to shut it down. Are you kidding? Because they want to fund programs for illegal immigrants? I mean, what is going on here?
It's going to be hard for them to do that. It's going to be very difficult for them to do that in the midst of this historic tax cut. I mean, everybody
How can they even say that with a straight face?
Well, exactly. It's going to be hard for them to do that, and we certainly hope that there won't be partisan, petty politics getting in the way of us fully funding our military and other important programs and obligations. So again, the CR comes next. We're confident that we can keep the government running, as you said in your opening statements. But I can't imagine in a year that has been marked with petty partisan politics, obstruction, resistance, no, collusion, delusions, and the rest, that the capper for the losing team is going to be shutting down the government, and they would be to blame for that. There's no question. Everybody saw today what happens when a president of action and resolve and delivery works with members of his party in both chambers, the House and Senate.
And what is this about the president, his chief of staff, John Kelly, meeting privately with a group of senators who include some of the most marginal senators? They hold no official status, and they are talking about DACA as if they are extending, prepared to extend amnesty to what would be somewhere around as many as 5 million by some estimates. I mean, that must be surely misreported.
General Kelly's doing an amazing job here. He's a fabulous leader.
You don't have to convince me. I think he's doing an amazing job.
He is.
So stipulated.
But
that
remember,
isn't what I asked.
we're already working on 2018 here at the White House in 2017.
Why I thought I'd bring
and that
it up.
includes the president put forth a very bold, very robust 70-point immigration plan. It includes many things. DACA is part of that. The wall is a part of it.
Amnesty is part of that?
Thousands more.
Wait a minute. I'm confused. Because we know one thing from history. Every president who has talked amnesty before securing border security has lived through the consequences to his regret. Surely this administration would not proffer such a thing.
This is not every president. This is a unique president who, by the way, took the issues of immigration and trade.
I think I'm quite aware of the order of the presidencies. I am asking you a question as straightforwardly as it can be asked.
Which is?
Which is very simply, he wouldn't make the mistakes of the past and try to put amnesty ahead of border security, would he?
No, I'm going to say no to that, because this president ran on border security, governs on border security. Once that wall built, he has said it time and again. It's never wavered. And more to the point, read the full 70-point plan. I commend your viewers to do that.
Are you suggesting I didn't?
I know you have. You've memorized
you're the most
it, and I bet your viewers have.
Friend I have.
I even know how to spell
that. In the White House. I mean, my goodness, sometimes you pick fights.
No, I'm not picking a fight.
Which part of the 70-point plan would you like to examine in detail?
I'd like America to realize that it is the wall, it's border security, but it's also equipping our brave men and women at the border with the resources they need.
Which of the 8 prototypes do you favor for construction immediately?
I favor building that wall. But look, the ICE agents, the merit-based system, the end-to-chain migration, this is all Donald Trump's vision on immigration.
Music to the ears of every American who loves this country.
Absolutely. The president talked about in the cabinet meeting today in front of the press pool. It was public information. No more visa lottery stuff, no more chain migration. That all ends. So it's a big, robust plan, and 2018 is around the corner, as is that.
I think we've got a countdown going right now. Kellyanne, thanks so much. Great to have you with us.
Thank you, Lou. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
God bless.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
We're coming right back. Much more straight ahead. Stay with us. You don't want to miss any of this. Is just the beginning here. What Kellyanne has introduced is just the beginning. We'll be right back. President Trump delivers historic tax relief to hard-working Americans.
It's the largest tax cut in the history of our country, and reform. We are making America great again.
We take up the major legislative victory for this president and what it means for the rest of his agenda in the new year. Congressman Sean Duffy is our guest.